Greg, this is your show.
Yes,
You've
sir.
been waiting for Hard Knocks, I think, since the moment you were born, maybe even before that, before the show ever even existed.
Yeah, for sure.
I am going to give you the first opportunity as we get into our instant reactions here. You get to go first, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, it was fantastic, and yes, it is our show, mine and Corey's. We really enjoy doing these after darks, but have been looking forward to this all summer. Been talking about Hard Knocks. Bears fans have been talking about Hard Knocks for years. We've always been on the short list of teams that the NFL could force to do this, and I'm so grateful that it didn't happen in years past, because the amount of different storylines that are falling right into the Bears' laps, obviously starting with Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze getting drafted in the top 10. But then you see here on this show tonight, Jonathan Owens and Simone Biles. They've been married and with the Packers here for the last few years, but it just so happens the year the Bears are on Hard Knocks, Simone Biles is winning the gold over in Paris. So we get to put and feature that and put it on full display for the national television audience, and the Bears get to be a part of that, which is such a cool experience, and everything going across, like the facility upgrades and this kind of new era Bears that we're starting to see with Ryan Poles and Kevin Warren and Ian Cunningham. It's kind of showing kind of where the Bears are going, and to get the kind of access we saw tonight. We saw my guy Reddy Steward's interception that we've talked about a few times on the show. Bears fans got to see some highlights from practice they may not have gotten to see otherwise, which is always a big thing for Bears fans, to be able to get those kind of highlight clips, that not all of us have the opportunity to go to Hallis Hall and see for ourselves. And then overall, obviously the instant reaction, burying the lead here, but CHGO, getting some love here on episode 1 of Hard Knocks. Cole Kmet, our dude, rocking the CHGO shirt at Wrigley Field. And you even got a few cameos. If you had that clean cut eye for Mark Carman and Adam Hoge sitting up in the Walter Payton Center, and maybe you might even have found a meatball in the intro to start the show as well. So it was really cool to see those kind of things. Get them out of the way. Now check on HBO and get to enjoy the rest of these episodes as the month progresses. So I'm excited for all of it.
Corey, I will go to you next. You played the game. You were a Chicago Bear. What is your reaction watching just the inside of the Bears? What were your feelings watching this? Because it had to be different for you.
My first reaction was like, hey, they need a little bit of depth at the 3 technique position. I can give you about 10 plays a game, so I might have to suit up. No, it got me excited. This time of year is the best, especially now that I'm not playing anymore. It brings you back into that mindset in a way. It gets you excited for the year. And just thinking back about how it was during training camp, right? That smell every morning when you wake up, you go to the locker room, you could smell that grass first thing in the morning. And you knew what time it was with training camp. When you walk out there, it is hot as can be in August, the humidity, the heat, and you're ready to go. Especially the brotherhood of the family, especially when they were singing, especially the rookies. That was always a fun time. When you go up there, you announce your signing bonus, and then you do your song. And that for me was always the highlight, because if you did well, people would be clapping. But if it did not, they'd roast you. They'd throw stuff at you like, Caleb, come on, John Legend? You don't know that one? We're just ordinary people. Come on, man.
What song did you sing, Woot?
I sang So Anxious by Genuine. And I'm not a good singer.
How does that go? I forget how that goes. How does that go?
It's 10-10. Where you been? Did you get my message? Your expressions be telling me that you be thinking the same thing. I be thinking.
That's amazing. I mean, how many years later you just did that on the fly, and Caleb was supposed to be ready for that and completely bombed.
Yeah. I think he thought about it 2 seconds before. He's probably like, I like John Legend. Let me try to do a song. And then he completely forgot about it. And he's probably nervous. He's probably more nervous about that than he is actually taking snaps in the game, low key. Because everybody's looking at you. They're gonna boo the hell out of you, and they'll give you shit the whole week for that.
Carm, what do you got for us?
Well, a bunch of people have already put in the chat when out of nowhere we get the Alan Parsons project, and then they've dialed up Ray Clay, and we're doing the Caleb Michael thing. I really had a hard time not appreciating that to the moon and almost getting teary-eyed. That was so beautiful. And then I just love this whole Chicago theme at the start, going down the river and they're busting out the Blues Brothers. She caught the Katie out of nowhere. I was like, oh my God, they're doing this. Is like, you know, the deep, just underlining Chicago, the deep dish pizza and whatnot. I was, you know, fully enjoying it. But, you know, really the biggest moment for me, Theo Benedict getting up there with the Eagle underwear situation, whatever the hell that was, and then I actually felt like the Theo Benedict pain when Theo Benedict, who I was not paying a whole lot of attention to at training camp. In fact, I probably learned his name tonight. You know, gets the grade 2 strain, and he's, you know, going to miss the rest of training camp. That I felt the pain for Theo. That was. There's a lot of cool moments. I mean, we'll go through all of it, but the Nick Saban thing was, as far as like actually meat on the bone, I thought that was super interesting. You know, I love that analysis. Like if the play works, it's great. If the play doesn't work, it's not great. That's not how you look at it. And also just how to connect with these guys. And also I love that little tidbit. I like to stand behind the quarterback and hear what he sees. Like that was super interesting. So it hit on all ends for me. There's some good solid football stuff in there, and then I was highly entertained.
Yeah, guys, I gotta be honest with you. I loved the whole thing. Like that was really, really fun to watch and see the ins and outs of things that, you know, for years I've been able to see on sort of on the periphery and in the building a little bit here and there, but not really knowing what the inside of, you know, those conversations, those meetings are like and things like that. I am encouraged by how much Matt Eberflus was featured in the first episode. How about his house? Holy shit, that was awesome. The Flus house, man, that good for him taking that Chicago Bears money and putting it to nice use. It looked like right on Lake Michigan. So I was digging that with the new look and everything. Yes, Carb.
I thought it was funny in that part where somebody asked, like, what was your favorite part of your trip? Like, well, I would say Lake Como. It was the same way he would answer a question in a press conference. Well, I would say that, you know, Caleb it was like the same exact Flus. We are getting the real Flus when he's talking to us. That was real Flusy.
That's what I wanted to say, Carm, was I'm happy we got the glimpse of it, because when they did Colts Hard Knocks, Flus was hardly in it. Now, he wasn't the head coach, so they're not going to feature the coordinators as much, but we didn't really get a lot of insight into Flus in that edition of Hard Knocks. I think by the end of these 5 weeks, we're going to have a much better idea of how he resonates, you know, with the players, how he comes off in meetings and things like that. Obviously, I absolutely love the Nick Saban stuff. I mean, I was definitely geeking out over that. A couple... I guess if that's my best, I'll go to my worst, and I'll just do this. So that car Jaylon Johnson was driving,
what was that?
I actually ran into him as he was driving out of Hallis Hall the other day, and I asked him what it was because I didn't know, and he didn't know. he didn't know.
Did he get it gifted? Did he get it gifted? Like, is he sponsored by that company?
It was a quick conversation because it was like a drive-by situation, but I was like, hey, what do you call that thing? Because I wanted to know to like maybe talk about it. And he's like, I don't know. I just got it. It's got 3 wheels. It said caramel. I think it said caramel on the side, not caramel Catholic, but something like that.
He's probably getting some kind of deal doing it, you know, free car. Like I got a free like Tahoe. I didn't get like a cool, you know, 3-wheel car like that, but I got a Chevy Tahoe. You know, when I played for the Bears for 4 years, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. 1 year, Pat O'Donnell, I think it was, got McLaren, gave him a McLaren to show up to training camp in. I think he got it for I think he got it for like a day, though. I don't think he got it for extended period of time.
Those punters, man, they're different.
Yeah.
He looked good riding, Jaylon. Now I thought that was it just looked like a calm, cool, collected, contract in hand Jaylon. That was good for him.
Well, and
Guys,
I think
I was just going to say
Yeah, the only other thing that I thought that stood out that we haven't brought up yet was DJ Moore signing his contract, then pulling him off the practice field in the middle of practice, going up to Ryan Poles' office, putting the pen to the dotted line. That was a cool moment, watching his teammates being happy for him. I just kind of enjoyed how, hey, special teams drill, let's get him up here and let's get this done. And DJ, no questions asked. All right, sounds good. I'll be the highest paid player in Chicago Bears history.
We all silly like the mayor.